Good morning. It's Friday, December 6th in Altoona, Iowa. Yesterday was a big day. It was my first triple, if you want to call it that. In the morning, I caught Cory Booker giving a stump speech in downtown Des Moines. I thought it was a good speech. I'll put the whole thing up in a video. From there, I went to see Amy Klobuchar at a union roundtable that wasn't too far away. Then I came back to this hotel, the La Quinta Inn in Altoona, and late in the afternoon, the manager told me that the meeting of the Mayor Pete supporters, which he had offered the conference room to, was ongoing and that I was welcome to attend. So I caught a Mayor Pete caucus worker meeting and filmed part of that as well. If you've watched any others of my recent videos, you'll recognize the backdrop as the conference room at the La Quinta Inn here in Altoona, Iowa. Last night at 6 o'clock, there was a meeting in this room by the Mayor Pete supporters, and this room was full of people. There were also Mayor Pete posters on the wall and sheets with writing discussing the agenda. I was given permission to attend the meeting and did so. And with any luck, you're seeing some B-roll footage of the meeting itself as you hear my voice describing it. I had earlier recounted a meeting at which supporters of Mayor Pete who showed up were given a list of 12 words to use to discuss why they supported Mayor Pete. I realize now from attending last night's meeting that that was just an introductory gambit, a way of getting people to be familiar with each other. So when I walked in, somewhat late, I was asked what my favorite Christmas carol was. I said "Deck the Halls" because it's the first song that came to mind, and was told that I was the first and only person to name that song. The meeting, of course, had nothing to do with your favorite Christmas carol. It was just a way of breaking the ice. And from that point onward, the staffer who ran the meeting was very businesslike. He was very friendly, but they weren't there just to sing Kumbaya. He made specific requests of the attendees. He passed around lists of people who've signed caucus commitment cards. He asked them to review the names, and if they knew anyone on any of the lists from any of the, I believe there were 5 precincts involved in this meeting, he wanted them to select someone and then call them up and ask them to come to this meeting, to this caucus worker meeting held every Thursday before the caucuses. One of the goals of the caucus meeting was to have a number of Mayor Pete supporters go through caucus training so they know what to do on the night of the caucus. And he put mild but real pressure on the attendees to attend the meeting this Sunday at 4 o'clock or next Sunday at 4 o'clock. He brought home that there are only 6 more meetings to be held between now and the caucuses, and I'm going to assume that's because they won't have one Christmas week, or it's the day after Christmas and the day after New Year's. They'll probably skip those. It was a cheerful meeting. Everyone there was supportive of Mayor Pete, obviously. And I think perhaps the most telling comment was by a woman about my age who was there with her husband, who happens to be a Seahawks fan, so I could remember her easily. And she said that Mayor Pete reminded her of Barack Obama. And she saw in him the same things she saw in Barack Obama in 2008. I think that feeling is widespread throughout Iowa. With luck, I'll make a full video on the Mayor Pete meeting so you can at least see some visuals of what happened. But my takeaway was these people are serious, they're prepared, they have a large number of signed caucus commitment cards, and they intend to carry through on caucus night, and they intend to win. Whether they have a head start over everyone, I really am not in a position to say, but my impression is they do. This past week, I had a drink in a bar with a woman who is a Trump supporter. And I knew she was a Trump supporter before I agreed to meet her. And frankly, I met her for the purpose of picking her brain. I won't bore you or trouble you with her rationale for supporting Trump, because you've probably either heard it all before or you would be shocked and upset by it. However, she volunteered to me that there are 4 Democratic candidates she would support. And they were Senator Bennett of Colorado, Senator Klobuchar of Minnesota, Mayor Pete, and Andrew Yang. Only the last one surprised me. After the Mayor Pete meeting, I chatted out at the front desk with the worker who put it on, and he was not surprised by the input that a Trump supporter would strongly consider voting for Mayor Pete. I think it really is true that the Trump people view Mayor Pete as the least threatening of the Democratic candidates. Certainly he is one of the more moderate candidates, or perhaps the most moderate candidate, with the possible exception of Senator Bennett and Senator Klobuchar. I was surprised that the Trump voter was willing to vote for Andrew Yang. I don't think I know enough about Yang to comment on that. Today is Friday. He's going to be in Des Moines next Tuesday and in Grinnell next Tuesday. I hope to catch both of those campaign stops before I leave for the holidays and then return on New Year's Eve. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy this political content, please consider subscribing. Happy holidays.